It's a terrible football show. All right.
I want whatever you guys are smoking right now.
Come on, Shane. OH. OH.
Oh, baby,
go.
yeah. Shane, I swear to God.
Welcome to a terrible football show.
That's my quarterback and my teammate, man.
Ruins my fucking holiday every damn year.
Alex,
What up?
you can thoroughly kiss my ass.
Why not let us decide the top four?
Yeah, let a terrible football show
Let a terrible
decide the top
football
four.
show.
Fuck you, Shane.
Roll Tide. Have a good one, guys.
Oh,
Enjoy the show.
oh, yeah, he's got to go. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
You know, I like that Baker Mayfield and myself, man. He was baking up there in the Browns, and it just turned into a big old shit pile. So,
Get that right. I will fly you out and take you to a game in Dallas of your fucking choice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's successful at just giving his terrible opinions, so why can't I? It's a terrible football show after all. Welcome into a terrible football show, episode 102, post-draft 2024. I got Ricky here hanging out with me today. Maybe the other boys can show up. We shall see. Life's busy. We know how it goes. But Ricky, how you doing? How you feeling today, my friend?
Well, I don't piss excellence, but I'm doing fine.
But hey, we here, right? We having a good time. We're gonna be
That's
talking.
right.
We're gonna be talking.
Absolutely.
We got your Cowboys. We got the Raiders. We got my Bears, the Jags, and then of course we're gonna be going over some of our favorite draft classes, some of our least favorites. Maybe we try to predict single players that could be future Hall of Famers. Shout out single players with teams that we just really love that pickup for them. It's gonna be a good show, I think. You know, just post-draft reaction. I will say for the state of the show. This will be our last episode for a bit, man. How do you feel about that?
Usually there's a void when it happens, but you know
Yeah.
we are in the time period when it's just time to take a little break and regroup. And of course, I know we'll have a show in June and July, and then August. You know, August is gonna be here before you know it. I mean, it's it's gonna be here before you know it.
Yeah, no. Once August comes, it's gonna be firing on all the cylinders. You know, back to weekly every single week, which should be episode 105. So shout out to that, and you know, coming back on a nice clean number. I will say when we come back, I will have like an updated intro and everything in June. You know, with updated like our new logo, some new clips from the past few episodes and stuff. So that I promise we're gonna have some updated stuff. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. We'll finally have some updated shit. But we'll see if anyone else is able to pop in or not. I know everyone's kind of busy with work. Tyler was gonna be here, but work cucked him. And now he may not get off till like 7:30. I know Shane gets off kind of late, and Jacob's got himself a new job as well. He's been kind of busy with. So, draft was excellent. If you're listening to this episode, you have not listened to the draft. Well, first off, you need to go watch the draft, not listen. I mean, you can go listen to it on all the audio platforms we're on, but you need to go watch that draft episode. That was one of the most electric shows that we've ever had at Sparky 3. The most electric show we've had at ATFS. Ricky, would you agree to that?
By far. And I think me and Tyler, we're always sitting by each other. Like
Toxic
I don't care who's in
table.
the studio. Me and Tyler are always going to sit by each other. That was epic. That was watching his drawings. It was some of the best things. It just gave me this great laugh. Because I'm telling y'all, some of the stuff he drew did not look like genitalia. Yeah, it was just great. I mean, it was just great, but it was a great idea. It was great to be in the studio.
Yeah, no, the whiteboard thing was A+ out of Tyler. He did great work. We got to do that every year. Even my old boss called me, the day after too, and he's just like, "Man, you guys did a great job. That was awesome." It's like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." No, that was fun. Definitely recommend giving that one a listen or giving that one a watch if you haven't, because that one was absolute electricity. But yeah, today's episode just kind of going over the draft. We'll talk about our favorite teams, then we'll shout out 3 teams we liked, 3 teams we didn't like, some single players going to certain teams that if we like that one, if we spot something we want to shout out, maybe try to predict some future Hall of Famers, and just overall general reaction to everything. We will be shouting out, of course, Rogue Energy and Agent Ink later on in the show. So big shout outs there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into stuff, man. So let's start off with our favorite teams. We'll start there and kind of go down. So I'll kick things off with my Chicago Bears. Not a lot of picks coming into the draft. We only had 4 picks, the 2 first and a third and a fourth. We did end up making a trade in the 5th. And if you saw it, Ricky, in the chat, I called exactly who I thought we were going to pick. In our Discord server.
Dude, y'all got Austin Booker. That was a steal too. I don't know how the crap
that was
he
the one
fell
I
in the
called.
5th round.
Yeah. I called it. Because I sent a list in our Discord. It's like, these are the guys I'd love to see. But I was like, the pick's probably going to be Austin Booker. And then sure as shit, we get Austin Booker. And I'm just like, oh man, I called it. Now, looking at the way the draft played out, man, give myself a pat on the back. I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of players that went to teams that were just like, I knew they were going to go to that damn team. Just following all the visits and all the follow-ups and how many meetings some of these players had with teams, the writing was on the wall. Like for example, he didn't go in the 1st. He went in the 2nd, though. Enos to Detroit, baby. That's a Dan Campbell guy. I've been manifesting that since my first mock.
Here's the only head scratcher I have for Chicago, though, Alex.
What's that?
Why would you draft a punter in the 4th round knowing Austin Booker was still available?
Honestly, I'm not mad about it just because of how damn
I'm
good
not either,
Torrey is.
It's the head scratcher. Why would you draft a punter?
It's just.
They needed an edge rusher before they needed a punter. I mean, you can always go grab a punter.
I think it's just one of those things of just how damn good Torrey is. You know what I mean? Because it's rare. It's damn rare to see a kicker or a punter come into the draft and get drafted high. Because, like, a great example, a few years ago, I think he went in the 2nd round, if I remember right. Didn't Evan McPherson, Cincinnati's kicker, go in the 2nd round? Let me look at that up.
It was either 2nd or 3rd.
He went high. I agree with you. Because when I saw the pick, that was okay. So never mind. He went in the 5th. I'm way off. Either way, that's still a good pickup. We've seen guys go in the 2nd. I want to say, let me look up this guy real quick as well. We've seen a couple of 1st rounders in the past. Let's see. He went 6th round. Man, I want to say there was a kicker or a punter that went in the 2nd round just a couple of years ago, but I can't remember who it was. But, picking up in the 4th round, I'm not mad about it personally, just because how damn good Torrey is. Torrey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Torrey is one of those kind of punters that I really do think I think that's a future Hall of Famer. Like, if he ends with the Bears or not, whatever. I genuinely think that kid can be a future Hall of Famer. I mean, he is just such a damn good punter, man. I mean, he was the Iowa offense to an extent. He really was, man. Because that Iowa offense was garbage. But dude, between Torrey Taylor and that generational defense, man, that was a dangerous team to play. It didn't matter who you were. That was a dangerous team to play, even though they had no offense. And it was because of Torrey and that defense.
So let's see here. Jake Moody was drafted 3rd overall in 2023 for the 49ers.
3rd round. Okay, Jake's good.
Yes. 2nd round, 2016, Robert Aguayo. I can't remember.
He was a bust.
His name.
Yeah, that was a bust for Tampa.
He was a bust.
Yeah.
And that sucked because he was such a great college kicker. Like he was probably the best college kicker by far coming out of that draft. Let's see. You have several. There are several who come out of the 1st round. Back then, whenever some of the years that I'm seeing when they were drafted out of the 1st round, back then there was way more than 7 rounds.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. I mean, like, look, I'm not against going 4th round for him. He's one of those generational guys. You know what I mean? He may be a punter, but man, that's a future Hall of Fame punter in my opinion. I mean, I genuinely believe that. Doesn't matter if you finish with Chicago or not. And plus, it technically was a need. Our punter last year, I think his name was Brenton Gill. I know his last name's Gill, I think, but I can't remember his first. I think it was Brenton. He struggled last year, so I mean, I get the need. And I'm not against, drafting it, especially, even if it is over Austin Booker, which I do like that trade up to grab him. That was a slide. That was a steal. He's raw. Austin's raw. There are some other guys that I would have preferred to have. I sent that in our chat, like Muhammad Kamara. I would have liked him a lot from Colorado State. But the thing that I love the pairing of Austin Booker with our D-line coach, right? Because our D-line coach comes from Vegas and coached Max Crosby. And guess what Austin Booker's comparison is? Max Crosby. So I'm here for this. I'm here for this. He's raw. You get him in the right hands, and this guy can be a stud. You know what I mean? And between like a D-line coach like that got to work with Max and Matt Eberflus, who's a damn good defensive coordinator. I mean, I'm here for the Austin Booker pick, man. I love Kieran, or Kieran. Yeah, Kieran. From Yale. Love him because he's also a Bears fan. That popped off big time after he was drafted, where people were digging up tweets from 10 years ago of him shouting out how much he's a Bears fan. Bear down this, bear down that, questioning Bears decisions and stuff like that. This kid is a diehard Bears fan, and I love it, man. I love it. I love this pick, dude. I think he's explosive. I love his size, man. At 6'5", 323. You know, he's a 3-year starter. You know, he's played guard and tackle. Man, he's versatile. I love that pick in the 3rd round. Like I really, really do, man. You bringing him in there with a building offensive line. You know, with a 1st round draft pick, Darnell Wright, and Braxton Jones. You know, you throw him into the mix, man. I love it. I love that pick. You know, and then I love the 1st round, man. I know you've got your grievances with Caleb, but man, I love it. I mean, Caleb is coming into. Regardless of how you feel about Caleb, he's coming into a near bust-proof situation. I mean, if he ends up being a bust like people predict, then he's a bust. And if that ends up being the case, I don't think Fields would have succeeded with this either. I mean, because this is bust-proof. This is a bust-proof team. Roma Dunze, man, pairing him up with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, man, it's gonna be electric. And if you want to get super technical about it, man, the draft class expands from that, because technically Montez Sweat and Keenan Allen is part of this draft class. We traded a 2nd and I think it was a 3rd or a 4th for Keenan. A 2nd for Montez Sweat and like a 2nd or a 3rd and a 4th, one of the 2 for Keenan Allen. So I see a lot of analysts, include trades as part of draft classes, which I understand. You're giving up your pick for them. I get it. So I mean, once you throw Keenan Allen and Montez Sweat in there, oh buddy, this is a class, baby. No, as a Bears fan, I'm walking away pretty happy. I really am. I love the electricity right now around the team. This is literally the best offense the Bears have ever had in Chicago history. I mean, it really is, man. Solid running back room, solid tight end. Best. I'll say it, and I'm not saying this as a biased Bears fan. You give me another trio, best wide receiver trio in the NFL. Prove me wrong. Like, I mean, I know Ramadunze is a rookie, but you have Keenan Allen, who played 13 games coming off a career year for him. Great stats. DJ Moore over 1,400 yards. Career year for DJ Moore. Up there with both of them. Up there at the top of the leaderboard, baby. And you got if Ramadunze is solid, man, I'm telling you, who's a better trio in the NFL? I would have said Cincinnati, but that trio is falling apart. Tyler Boyd's gone, and T. Higgins is once out. I would have said Cincy, but that one's kind of falling apart. I don't know, man. I can't think of another trio in the NFL that's better than this one. Like we got a damn trio.
My biggest grievance, though, Alex, is I thought y'all were better off keeping Justin Fields and teaming him up with Marvin Harrison, who should have been your number 1 overall pick, and you could have put in a tackle. You could have easily gotten. Oh, let's see who fell here. Y'all could have easily gotten someone like Alu Fachu out of Penn State.
Yep.
Y'all could have reached for an edge like Dallas Turner or Leonardo Ladu out of UCLA. Byron Murphy II. Y'all could have done something, not just to beef up your offense, which was already beefed up before all this was even taking place, but you could have made them even better overall on the defensive side. Yes, I do like the picks that you did have for the most part. I just thought y'all would have. I thought long term, y'all would have been better off drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. wide receiver over Caleb Williams, keeping Justin Fields, and then putting a defensive tackle in there or someone like that, which was one of the needs that you guys needed. Y'all needed someone at defensive tackle, and y'all didn't draft anybody at defensive tackle. But I think for the most part, and I don't think anybody can prove me wrong on this, I think you drafted 5 players who are ready to go in the NFL right now.
I agree to that. I agree to that for sure. When it comes to the Fields argument,
anybody could disagree with me on that, but somebody needs to prove me wrong. You have 5 players who are NFL ready.
I agree.
Regardless of how I feel about Caleb Williams, I'm not saying he's not an NFL quarterback. What I'm saying is I don't think I just don't. I thought y'all should have kept Justin Fields. And yes, do I think he's going to be a bust? We'll see. I hope not. But I don't think this was the right situation for the Chicago Bears as a whole. And I hope I'm wrong. Do I think you're a playoff team next year? There's a damn good possibility, and we'll definitely get that, especially come time of August whenever we pick division winners. I don't think you'll win the division.
No, no,
I think you got a
it's
damn
gonna be
good.
lines.
I think you have a damn good chance to.
Yep.
If especially if let's see how Caleb does. If Caleb could come out and play like a 3-4 year starter right off the bat, what number one overall picks are expected to do anyway.
Yep.
Then you guys could have a chance of winning the division. I just don't think defensively right now you're there yet defensively.
We are. Come on
in order
now.
to win a division.
We had a top defense last year.
No, defensively, no.
Oh,
last
yeah,
y'all had a horrible year
absolutely.
defensively last year.
No.
You guys didn't start playing defense until the second half of the year. Then it was too late.
Disagree. This defense could easily be top 10 defense this year.
How many games y'all
Easily.
win last year?
7.
Okay.
Should have been 10.
No.
Should have been 10.
It should have been 10. I'll give you that much, but no. I'm talking to compete at the elite level. Like I said, I thought y'all needed 1 or 2 more pieces defensively, but
Look, I'm telling you right now, this defense with just the free agency signings, the moves we made, the re-sign, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a top 10 defense this year. I'll put money on it right now.
Top 10. Anybody can be a top 10 defense in the NFL.
No, let's relax on that. That's not true.
So, but I will say this much: y'all didn't bust this year for the draft, nor I'm telling you, y'all actually made some moves this year. That's the good thing about it. Y'all didn't sit back and do nothing like Jerry Jones.
I mean, like last year with defense, we led the league in interceptions. So shout out to that. Well, tied for the lead. So that's pretty good. 4th in the league in defensive touchdowns. So if I'm looking at that right.
I know at one point y'all gave up a ton of points at the beginning. I think it's at the beginning of the year, 4 or 5 games in. Y'all were like giving up one of the ones giving up the most points.
Yeah, early on. Because early on, if you remember, there was the whole debacle with our defensive coordinator, who we still don't know to this day what the hell happened. No clue what happened. That's still an unknown to this day. We may never know what happened. But after that, once Matt Eberflus took over the play calling, everything changed from the rest of the season. So, I mean, it was about probably 4 to 5 games in when all that shit show took place with Allen Williams. And once Eberflus took over, it was gravy from there, man. Montez Sweat was an instant difference maker. Jalen Johnson was the best corner in the NFL last year, and he was paid like it. So I mean, I'm telling you, man, this team is going to be a top 10 defense this year. Easy. Especially when you make some moves like getting Kevin Byrd, man. I mean, he's a better, healthier Eddie Jackson. He fits Eddie Jackson's role. He's better than Eddie. He's never missed a game. Knock on wood. Great money that we got him for. Pro Bowler, All Pro. Here for that. Got Jalen Johnson re-signed. Brisker still great. Kyler Gordon, let's get it. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards played awesome last year. Got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. I'm telling you, man. And then you got Austin Booker in there. Pair him up with Sweat. Get Austin Booker going. Share some reps with some of the other guys. Hey, and there's still free agency, baby. Now that the draft's done, it's time to go sign some guys. I'm telling you, this defense is going to be solid, man. And I mean, you're right when it comes to the players, though. These are 5 guys that can go in and play immediately. Even Austin. Austin's a little raw. I wouldn't go in and play him week 1, but I'd give him about halfway through the season and put that kid in as a starter. Let's let him get some reps in, obviously. But I mean, I think they nailed it. I really do. And from the quarterback argument, I see both sides, man. I love Justin Fields. I can't wait to see his success over in Pittsburgh. But man, I get it. I understand the Caleb arguments. You're resetting the quarterback contract clock. I get it, man. We've got 3 years at least, if not 4 years, to keep spending money around him and keep building around him before we have to pay him. So I mean, I get it, man. I understand. We're giving ourselves 3 more years. Like, we've been up and up, up this rebuild, and now we're at the top of the rebuild. Now it's just time to go and see how it goes. We got all the main pieces. And the thing is also about the edge rush thing. The one reason why I'm not super upset about it, about not getting super high, I haven't really dove into it a lot, just very briefly. But man, Ricky, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil something for you, my friend. 2025 draft class is stacked to the brim with edge rushers. So hey,
Oh, yeah.
oh man, it's
Next
unbelievable.
year, I think between quarterbacks and edge rushers next year, golly,
I actually
probably gonna see
disagree
more
with you
edge
on
ru-
the quarterback one. I think quarterback's weak next year. I mean, your
Mm,
number
you
one
haven't seen the
guy,
same
your number
that I've
one
seen.
guy right now is Sanders. Sanders, Carson, Beck. Those
Yeah,
are
you
currently
got a point
those are
there.
the currently projected as the top guys. Tyler sent me one thing, man. I don't know what this site was smoking because it's the same site that we use for the mock drafts. They had Curtis Rourke, former Ohio quarterback, now Indiana quarterback, as the number one projected QB. I'm like, well, that's not accurate. Yeah, that's not right. But yeah, next year is a little weak, man. Sanders is currently the top projected guy. Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers. And I like Quinn, but I'll be honest with you, I see a route this year where Quinn's going to shit the bed and Archer's going to take over. I do see that happening this year. I honestly, the way I see Quinn's Texas career falling out, I don't think he's going to finish this year. I think Archer's going to end up taking over, and I think Quinn's going to have a situation similar to like Spencer Rattler, where he's going to have to transfer elsewhere to keep and try to get his draft stock back up in another school before he tries to enter the draft. I see that playing out for him, or like a Bo Nix too, when Bo went to Oregon. I just have a gut feeling on that one, but that's college talk. What about your Cowboys though? Enough about my Bears. Enough about bottom line as a Bears fan. I would say A-, man. I would even say I could even argue A+. I mean, I think they nailed it. I think it was fantastic. What about your Cowboys? How are we feeling about it?
I'm not gonna give them an F, and I'm probably gonna give them about a C- just because it was just so predictable. Um, I know there was a lot of talk of them not drafting a running back, which to me I don't think they really needed to at this point, given the fact that we're gonna suck regardless. But and there really wasn't a running back in the draft that was really worth taking in the earlier rounds anyway, and I think that was
Weak running
proven.
back
Uh,
class.
and
Next
so
year's running back
it was
class
just
is
it was
good too.
yeah, next year's running back class is going to be pretty good next year, and I think we'll wait till next year to do that. And of course, surprise, surprise, we're bringing Zeke Elliott back. Um, getting Tyler Guyton, of course, I think one of the things that I can see on some of this stuff, Alex, is that there's so many questions that surround the future because, like I said before, we have several players whose contracts come up at the end of the year, who, if we do not get them paid, they will go elsewhere. Dak Prescott's one of them. CD Lamb, who's basically on a holdout right now. Micah Parsons is one who could hold out next year. So there's so many questions that are surrounding it. Of course, you've got offensive linemen. Zach Martin's going to want more money after next year, and we're not going to be able to pay these guys. So we basically got positions where if there is indeed a possibility of us needing to get some of these voids filled, then sure, that's perfectly fine. I have no issue with that. I really didn't. I saw a couple of reaches that I really didn't like. I did not like the fact that we drafted the linebacker. I cannot Maurice Loafu. I think he's very very talented, but I think we could have gotten him. Well, no, never mind. We didn't have a fourth round pick. Never mind. I thought we had a fourth round pick
That
this
was
year.
a
We did not
case
have
of
a fourth
getting the
round
guy
pick
that
this
you
year.
want to get, similar to Denver getting Bo in the
Exactly.
first round.
Exactly. So I had no problem with that, considering that is a need that we definitely do have. Getting Taylor Carson in the fifth round, I thought that was a little bit of a steal. I think he's a lot better than what they graded him at, but I'm not the one grading these people, so we'll just go there. I thought getting Ryan Flournoy out of Southeast Missouri State, I don't think I would have drafted him that high in the sixth round. I think I would have waited to the seventh round, because even then, like even in the seventh round, we got guys that we could have gotten at any point in the draft that we wanted to. But it's like you said, sometimes we have to reach. And the seventh round is usually not much of a reach anyway, just depending on the situation that you're in and everything like that. But for the most part, I'm gonna give it a C plus. I'll say C plus, just because it didn't seem like we reached a whole lot in this draft. It's such head scratching and mind boggling because I have no idea what's going on financially down there in the Cowboys land, and it just seems like now we're about to hit this reset button, and we're gonna suck. We're just gonna suck anyways. And so the one thing that I will say that I am disappointed on, and I think Jacob will agree with me, is that we did not get golly, what's the guy's name? Hang on.
I'll
He was
shout
one of the
to
centers that we wanted.
Tyler in chat. Tyler said, "And Curtis, we
Jackson,
trust."
Jackson Powers Johnson. That's who I was
Oh
thinking of.
yeah.
Jackson Powers Johnson. I really thought we could have gotten him in the first round instead of Tyler Guyton because in the long run, I think Jackson Powers Johnson I think he's a future Hall of Famer as well. I think that is. I thought we should have went with him in the first round. For whatever reason, Jerry Jones loves him some Oklahoma offensive linemen. So
I know,
have
right?
at it.
Hey, you got two Tylers from Oklahoma. You got the Tyler Smith from Tulsa, and now you got Tyler Guyton from OU. So how about that? I will say this: the
Yep.
Tyler Guyton pick, man, I get it, and I've been predicting it for the Cowboys for multiple mocks now, just because I thought he was the guy they were going to be really looking at. Man, he's got great size, 6'8", 322. It's just, and man, he's got so much power. He's plug and play right tackle. He's got a lot of agility. He can move to left if needed. And he's got great length and everything. But man, those 14 games, man, that's just that kind of kills me personally. But I mean, I get it. I understand the talent. But man,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I absolutely love the Cooper Beebe pick. Love that pick in the third round. I mean, you're getting yourself an absolute dog. 4-year starter, all right, that you've got who's played guard and tackle. He's got great body control, wide frame, man. Love this kid. Cooper Beebe is
I forgot about Cooper Beebe.
dude, he's going to be a stud. And and let's also not disrespect your second round pick either from Western Michigan, Marshawn Nealand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
I mean,
dude, good pick.
I think he's going to be great with Micah Parsons. Let's not disrespect him. Let's make sure to shout him out. But man, I love that Cooper Beebe pick, dude. Love that Cooper Beebe pick. I think that pick is awesome. I could take it or leave the Nathan Thomas and Justin Rogers pick. But either way, I want to shout them out because obviously big congratulations to all these young men achieving dreams. But man, I love your top 3 picks personally. After that, it's kind of just hit or miss for me personally. But I love your top 3.
It could be. It could be, but I think that I personally like the top 6. Just to be fair, I do like the
Sure.
Ryan Florida. The only thing with
Sure.
Ryan Florida that he's one of those that you could have gotten in the free agency market part of it. You didn't really have to draft him. The one thing with him though, he does. I think he's one of the fast ones, and of course that's somewhat of a need that we need considering we had to get rid of Michael Gallup.
Right.
So he's just one of those like, hey, you want to try out? Here you go. Not gonna hurt anything.
Right. Hang on. Give me 1 sec. God, why isn't that one appearing? That's weird. It appears for everyone else. Tyler said he was planning on jumping on after he finished the store, and I just realized that I have not set the right roles for him. Ricky, while I'm getting this set up, take a look at your Las Vegas Raiders and let me know.
Las
let
Vegas
me know what you think.
Raiders. All right, so you want me to go ahead? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Las Vegas. Here is where I'm going to. This is awesome. So their first 2 picks, Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers Johnson, no brainers, absolutely beautiful, beautiful stud. The biggest reach of the I'm not gonna say it's the biggest reach of the draft, but it was a pretty good reach. Was when they got offensive tackle Delmar Glaze in the 3rd round from Maryland. I know that he is probably underrated when it comes to, being an offensive lineman, but you're not that desperate. You didn't have to go. You didn't have to go get him that quick. He would have been there in the 4th round. He would have been there in the 5th round. He'd have been there in the 6th round most likely. But whatever. It is what it is. They got DeCamber Richardson out of Mississippi State. He was ranked 123rd overall. I think that was a good pick. They got Tommy Eckenberg, who is a linebacker out of the Ohio State University.
There you go.
Not really. not really much of a reach on that one. They got Dylan Luabi, who is out of New Hampshire. For those of y'all who do not know anything about New Hampshire, guess what? I do not either. But he did lead all-purpose yards in the FCS in the last 2 seasons. So he's one of those that you know. Well, but hey, they've got a decent need at running back. He's one of those, just kind of like how the Cowboys had. He's one of those that you can be like, you know what? Let's see if you can prove yourself. And if you look at history, usually those who prove themselves either come from very, very crappy FBS schools, or they come from FCS schools like this one. So we'll see, and we'll see how this goes for him. Trey Taylor out of Air Force, because everybody knows Air Force had a very, very good start to the year last year.
Oh yeah,
I think Trey Taylor could be a very, very good asset to this team.
true.
And then their last pick was Devonshire out of Pittsburgh, and everybody knows how great. Well, historically, Pitt's usually pretty good in the ACC when it comes to defense, but he definitely has some good feet. He's definitely one of those with quick hands, everything like that. Everything you would want in a corner. The only thing that's kind of a head scratcher for me, they didn't draft a quarterback, which I didn't necessarily think they absolutely had to at this point.
I agree.
Because I don't think they're that desperate right now. I think next year's draft class overall, even though you disagree, I think next year's draft class overall, there are some quarterbacks in that draft that you're going to be able to reach for. Maybe not necessarily a long reach, but there's going to be more quarterbacks next year that you're going to be able to bet on and gamble with a little bit more than what you will with this year's draft. That's just my opinion. So I'll give it a solid B overall. I think the only reason I won't give it any higher is because they really, really reached in that third round. If they would not have reached that third round pick, I think you're looking at a good solid B plus A minus range when it comes. But they've got some great players, some great talent that's going to be to add to that roster, and you got to get somebody to protect Gardner Minshew.
That's right. And hey, shout out to you, man. You're one of the voices. You're one of the single shining lights in the darkness, because there's a lot of analysts that do not like this draft. I've seen some people like it, but I've seen a lot of people. You're in the minority. I've definitely seen some support. You're not the only support I've seen, but you're definitely in the minority in terms of liking this class. Me personally, I mean, I love their 5th round pick with Tommy, linebacker from OSU. I love Trey Taylor in the 7th quite a bit, honestly, just for the same reason you do. And then I love JPJ, baby. Love JPJ. Love that pick. Yeah, man, I love Brock Bowers, but this was honestly a case of just taking best player available. And I get it. You know, I understand. Like, when you miss out on all the guys that you'd want, they wanted a QB. You know what I mean? I feel like Sean Payton even kind of alluded to that when he was interviewed with on the Pat McAfee show with Bill Belichick, where, you know, once the top three quarterbacks went, Sean was just kind of, you know, when he's talking to Bill, he's like, all right, no one do anything crazy and we can all get our guys. You know what I mean? Because he referenced the Vikings himself and the Raiders. He name dropped them. He's just like, no one do anything crazy and we can get our guys. And he said, and then the Falcons come in and do something crazy that none of us expected. So, and I think, like I'm telling you, man, that, you know, while I got the team wrong with Penix in the top 10, man, I just felt the writing on the wall that Penix was going to go top 10, and it was going to force Denver to pull the trigger, because, like I said, Vegas was right behind them. Yeah, Vegas would have got Bo Nix up front, but Vegas would have got Bo Nix if he was at 13. I'm telling you. All three teams wanted their QBs, man. Vegas worked out with every QB but Caleb. I mean, they were doing their homework. So, but I mean, Brock Bowers, I love the pick, but you already had a tight end. That's just my personal mindset on it. You already had a tight end with Michael Mayer. You know, Brock. I love 2 tight end sets, but I just think there's someone else you could have gotten right there. You could have been the team to take the first defensive player off the board with Dallas Turner and pair him up with Max Crosby. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand. I think it's a great pick. You know, it's best player available. I just think for where the team's at, I think there's something else that you could have done. You know, that's just my opinion. I love the pick. I love the pick for Brock, though. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they could have gotten Amarius Mims. They could have gotten Byron Murphy II. They could have gotten, like I said, Dallas Turner
is who I would have got if I was them. But I'm not a GM.
So, yeah, like I said, we'll see. We'll see what they do with this. We'll see what they do with this. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a huge fan of. I'm actually more of a fan on what the Raiders did than what the Dallas Cowboys did
Really.
with their picks. But they were also, you're also looking at two totally different positions in the draft and two totally different positions on where they had with picks too. Um, so I mean, yeah. So I like I said, I don't know how much better the Raiders are going to get with this bunch, but I don't think it was terrible by any means necessary.
All right, let me hit my Jags here. Man, I gotta be honest with you. This draft does not stick out to me.
Well, here's the thing: you're going to win a Super Bowl because you have Cam Little now.
Yeah, he's gonna kick. He's gonna kick our way to the Super Bowl, baby. He's gonna be the
Exactly.
future.
He's going to average. He's going to average 21 points a game.
Wahoo! That's a lot of points, but that's a lot of kicks. Our offense
Yeah,
sucks.
it's 9 kicks a game.
Man, I was high as can be. That draft night, I loved both the Bears picks. I love Brian Thomas Jr. for the Jaguars. It's obviously, in my opinion, a need. Christian Kirk's a great, reliable receiver. Great for T-Law to be that reliable guy to get 10 catches a game if needed. I love Gabe Davis. He can be an extreme playmaker. We've seen it in Buffalo where he caught 3 TDs in a game and helped carry the team on. Like, he can be that guy and for those games, but he's not your every game guy to pop off like that. We lost Calvin. We need to fill that spot. And I love Brian Thomas Jr., man. He's got a lot of upside. But man, it's just beyond that. I feel like there's a lot of other players that you could have got than the ones they got at the time. You know what I mean? Like it's just across the board. Like, let's see if I can get the rounds pulled up here so I can give you some examples.
You had Jerry and Jones in the third round. He was position ranked 32nd, 235 overall, and there were a few left on this draft. Let me see who you had left on the draft. Dwight McGothern, who's out of Arkansas, he was ranked 23rd in the position, 167 overall. You could have gotten him at corner if you wanted to. You could have gotten Josh Wallace out of Michigan, a national champion Michigan defense. You could have gotten him over it. And there, other than that, that everybody else was kind of already basically taken off, or they were ranked really low. But yeah, I thought that was a huge reach in the third round. It didn't necessarily need to reach that much.
Yeah, so looking at, let's say, the second round when we drafted Mason Smith, I like Mason Smith, man. He's got unbelievable length, great core strength and everything. He can be great in one-on-one for sure. There are just some other players that I would have loved to see us more. Literally, the next pick after us was Chris Jenkins out of Michigan. Cincinnati grabbed him. I would have liked that one. I would have loved Zach Frazier, offensive lineman from West Virginia, the man who walked off the field with a broken leg. Shout out to that. What a legend. Michael Hall Jr., defensive tackle from OHIO. We had your guy, Marshawn Nealand, go out later. Chris Braswell as well, go right after him. I mean, man, Enos is still on the board. Enos didn't go to Detroit till the 29th pick of the second round. We need we need secondary. Clearly, when we got Jones, like you said, in the third round, we got Dante Prince in the fifth round. That's something that we need is defensive back, to the point that I thought it was going to be a first round pick, especially with how they were scouting them. Working with every single major corner. I mean, dude, if we would have walked away the first 2 picks being Brian Thomas and Enos, I would have shit my pants and said the rest of the draft I do not care about. I don't, because that right there would have sold it for me. I'm like, let's go, baby. And then so jumping over to the third round where you're talking about where we kind of really overreached there. Let's see where we picked him up at in the third round. My dyslexic ass is having a hard time locating our team logo. All right, so bottom of the third there. I mean, shit, man, I would have loved Peyton Wilson from NC State. I love that pick for Pittsburgh. We'll get to that here soon. Cameron Kitchens from Miami. Would have loved that one too, my boy. Shout out to that. We had some guys right here in the fourth. Kyrie Jackson. Would have really liked that one quite a bit. I mean, I just feel like there were some other players that that we could have gotten in these later rounds that I think would have better fit what we needed and better fit the mold of the team. But then again, this is a terrible football show, so what do you expect, right? But I mean, honestly, I walked away with the Jaguars draft kind of just like, it's a draft class. very SEC draft class with the exception of one pick.
Yep.
You know,
I was about to say that too.
two picks. Yeah, 2 picks, non-SEC. Everyone that very SEC focused draft besides 2 being Jerry and Jones and Miles Cole. I will say I do like the Miles Cole pick in the 7th round. I do. I will say that, man. I've liked this Texas Tech team for a little bit now, man. I like Miles Cole in the 7th, but it's just he just didn't have much production. Is ultimately what it kind of came down to in college. But man, I like the Miles Cole pick. I think I think maybe we can get him developed in the right way. But I mean, yeah, shout out to Cam Little though. Shout out to that. Shout out to Cam Little. You know, Jacksonville loves getting their Razorback players, I guess.
I guess so. I guess so.
I know. All right, so let's hit some teams that are not ours that we absolutely love. Do you want to shout one out first or me? Because I already got one queued up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pittsburgh. Are we on the same page? This is a
Pittsburgh's a good one. I agree with that
This is
one.
probably the best class this
agree.
year. This is probably the #1 best class this year. I'll go ahead and say it. Top to bottom, this class is awesome. This is a Steeler draft, baby. Troy Fatanu, awesome. Zach Frazier, awesome. Roman Wilson, awesome. Peyton Wilson, awesome. Mason McCormick from your Jackrabbits, awesome. You got Logan
That's
Lee
right.
from that
Super
generational.
Bowl, baby.
You got Logan Lee from that unbelievable generational Iowa defensive tackle. And then Ryan Watts, cornerback from Texas, which that's probably the weakest link of this draft. He was the last pick of the draft for him. So, I mean, I get it later round. But, I mean, man, I feel like you hit a home run on almost every one of these picks where, like, almost every one of these guys can be future starters for you. You know what I mean? Like, this class is unbelievable. I'm jealous.
Yep, I agree. I think a few. I'll go ahead and shout out another team real quick. I thought Washington's draft was really, really good.
Okay.
When you look at top to bottom. Of course, they drafted Jaden Daniels, which that was the obvious. Getting Zerhan,
Johnny. Just
Gift
call him
first.
Johnny.
Johnny Newton.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, getting Johnny Newton early in the 2nd round. I'm not going to say that was a full-blown steal or anything like that because he was projected to get in the 1st round, but I still think that was a very, very good pickup. Mike Ristio, I can't pronounce his last name. But get some last names in here that we can pronounce. Damn it. Anyways, corner out of Michigan. They also drafted him in the 2nd round. They had 3 picks in the 2nd round,
I know.
and I thought they hit a home run on nearly all these picks. Ben Sennett, I thought he could have. They probably could have waited on him, but the fact is, when you like someone, and that's still not a very bad pick. Even though it was in the 2nd round, I thought they could have picked him up in the 3rd one. Brandon Coleman, the guard out of TCU, I think he's an absolute stud. 6'6", 320 pounds. He's going to do them good. Luke McCaffrey,
Love it.
Luke McCaffrey out of Rice. That's probably my favorite pick that they've had. It was probably one of my favorite picks of the entire draft. And then you go down Jordan McGee out of Temple. Very, very low key team, but he was one of the main reasons why Temple was relevant. Dominique Hampton out of Washington. We can't deny that. And
Yep.
then Javonte Jean-Baptiste out of Notre Dame, very underrated edge. I thought he would have been a little bit higher than that, but still a very good pickup for them. I don't expect him to make the team overall, but I just think that reaching out and at least giving him a shot for the NFL is definitely worth noting. I thought they should have picked up an edge earlier than what they did because that was something that they needed. But like I said, this is the NFL draft. You never know what these guys are thinking. But I really liked Washington's class. And Alex, even though it doesn't look too fancy, I kind of like Carolina's picks. I know that Carolina has been kind of it because of some of the stuff that they've done, but to me, they stole some things whenever they had the trade with they had the trade with Buffalo. But I still like some of the picks. I like the Trayvon Wallace out of Kentucky. I do like that pick. It was I wouldn't consider it too far of a reach or anything like that because it was a need that I thought they needed to avoid. And then Jatavian Sanders out of Texas, the tight end out of Texas. He was ranked second overall in the tight ends, but I thought that was kind of a steal because I thought he was going to be at least a late second, early third round pick. Now they got him in the fourth round. Chow Wade Smith, a little bit of a reach, but the corners went like crazy this year, so you
Yeah.
can't really fault him for that. Jaden Crumity, I think Jaden Crumity is going to make noise in the NFL as a D tackle. I think he's going to be. I think he's a lot better than a sixth round pick. But they were able to get him in the sixth round, and then Michael Barrett, which I don't understand why they picked up another linebacker. But other than that, I think regardless of how Carolina's been, they didn't unimproved by these picks. But I thought they picked very smart, considering how bad that they were last year.
Yeah, no, the Carolina pick, the Carolina draft and Washington draft both. I agree with you. Those are some good classes, top to bottom. Did you see the video of Xavier Legette?
No, I did not. But I did not.
You need to see this at his press conference, whatever. That boy is Southern. Let me just say that there is Southern, and then there is Southern accent. There's Southern accents, and then there's Southern accents. He's a Southern accent kind of guy, man. I'm gonna love his press conferences. That guy's electric. Man, I'll tell you another draft that I love. This is probably my second favorite draft, top to bottom. JETS, Jets. Love this class personally. I love Olu. All right, you're pairing him up with Tyron Smith. You're pairing him with Morgan Moses. All right, so you're getting some youth in there. Okay, especially when if you want to try to move like Morgan Moses like to the inside or something like that and get Olu to start. Malachi Corley, man, I don't know if you've seen highlights of this kid. If you haven't, you need to go watch him. Malachi Corley, Western Kentucky. This kid is electric. Like this, I cannot wait for him to get paired up with Aaron Rodgers. You know, Aaron Rodgers has always done a damn good job, working with these later round guys, making them, electric wide receivers in the NFL. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Malachi Corley, man. I like this guy a lot. Braylon Allen as well, running back from Wisconsin. Big fan of that. But man, I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of the Jordan Travis move, especially with the heir apparent of Zachary Milfson now being Shane's Denver Broncos. Shout out to Shane for just popping in. Man, I love the Jordan Travis move. Give him a chance to be behind Aaron and learn, continue to recover, continue to become the best version of himself possible. And then also you also grabbed a guy who's played at the pro level in some capacity with Stiggers, the cornerback. He played for Toronto Argonauts. So I mean, like you're grabbing a guy who's already played at the professional level in some capacity. Isaiah Davis, running back from South Dakota State. Shout out to that one. And there you go. And then Mr. Irrelevant, Jalen Key, man. But I'm telling you, those first four picks do it for me. Olu, Malachi, Braylon, and Jordan. I love these picks for the Jets, man. I think this is exactly what the Jets needed this draft.
So I don't know how much you know about Isaiah Davis, but Isaiah Davis was the -- running back in the FCS last year. He had over 1,500 rushing yards in the FCS last year, and he is actually he's more of a finesse back. He's not one that's going to run people over or anything like that, but I think he is definitely a very, very good pickup for a second down back. I don't think they needed to draft two running backs though. I was kind of hoping that Jerry Jones would pull the trigger on Isaiah Davis, and I don't know why. I don't know why Jerry Jones just doesn't call me, because we missed out on the future Hall of Famer and Tucker Kraft last year, and now you're missing out on another future Hall of Famer and Isaiah Davis, and you could have won Super Bowls with these guys, but no, don't call me. I don't know nothing.
No, I mean what you were saying about Isaiah Davis with like just
wait, hang on a second. Who did we lose? Who did the Cowboys lose to? Oh yes, they lost to the Green Bay Packers. Who was on that team? Future tight end Hall of Famer Tucker Kraft. I'm just saying, y'all.
It lines up. It lines up. The evidence supports.
I don't know nothing. Don't call me nothing. Come on, people.
Hey,
I'm telling you, man. I wish I was in the draft room for the Dallas Cowboys. I'd be like, what in the bleepity bleep are you doing?
I will say to back up for like the listeners for what Ricky's talking about with Isaiah, like his production is outstanding, right? I mean, like, when it comes to last year, almost 1,600 rushing yards, 1,578, and he tied the FCS for touchdowns at 18. But then over just his career, man, over 4,500 yards and over 50 touchdowns. I mean, like, dude, this guy's a beast at the FCS level. I mean, he is. So I mean, I think that was also a good pickup too. So like, I mean, dude, just really like top to bottom. You know the top 5 picks, man. I'm telling you, Jets nailed it. This is a Jets draft,
Yeah,
baby.
they did.
The Jets nailed it, man. And I'm telling you, if you haven't seen Malachi Corley's highlights, you need to go watch it. This kid is electric. I love this kid and what he brings to the table. Shane, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. I'm gonna have the camera off until I'm done eating because I am starving.
You're good. You're good.
But I will mention I want to talk on those two Jet running back pickups they got in the draft. Kind of to add on to that FCS guy Davis. The reason why I like him, and I think he'll still be a good, third round back or even a good rotational back in the NFL, because between him and Brandon Allen, and we all know how good Allen could be, both combined to have over 1,000 carries combined in their collegiate careers. So regardless of if you're in junior college, whether you're in the CFL, UFL, Division II, Division I, if you have over 500 career carries, you've put in work. Like you're meticulous.
Workload, yeah.
Like there's gonna be ways they're gonna fit you into that room, and I think that only benefits him.
Yeah, especially when you have like a superstar like Breece Hall in front of them as well to help catch them up
Yep.
to the NFL game. Oh man, I don't know. Are we about to have like a dawn of a new era of thunder, lightning, and fire up in New York, like the Jets did back in the day with Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, and Derek Ward? Shout out to that for anyone who forgot about that. I think it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think is what they were called, right? I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to that. That was an awesome trio. We about to have another trio like that. Oh man, that's gonna be electric. Shane, what about your Broncos? How days later, how you feeling about that Bo Nix pick? You're a big Bo Nix guy.
I'm a big Bo Nix guy.
But so how you feeling about it? I mean, since you're eating, I can go ahead and rattle some stuff off to you. You got Bo Nix in the first, and the third, you got Jonah Ellis from Utah, edge rusher. You got Troy Franklin, beginning of the fourth, man. So you're pairing Bo up with this guy. I mean, that's a combination for success. You got another Missouri corner, the other one. You had Enos. Now you got Chris Abrams. Adams Drain. I mean, dude, that Missouri defense, as you guys know, as SEC guys, that Missouri defense was tough. That was a tough team. So, I mean, you got a tough cornerback over there. I cannot tell you how much I am jealous and love the running back pick from Notre Dame, Audric. I love this guy so much and hoped and prayed he went to Chicago. So that, like the fact that you guys got him in the 5th round, eternally jealous. How are you feeling as a Broncos fan?
I mean, look, I'm a Bo Nix guy. In my opinion, he's a top 3 quarterback in the draft. I still didn't have a first round grade on him, even
Same.
with him being a top 3 quarterback in the
agree.
draft. But honestly, a lot of these quarterbacks that probably would put mid to late first round, the ones that were ahead of him. Bo, I probably had a second to third on him. But the thing is, I still had him as the 3rd best quarterback in this draft. He's going to do everything that Sean Payton is looking for in a quarterback. He's very decisive, very accurate, short to mid range. He has the deep ball here and there, but he's not going to show off that arm talent. He's not going to be a Patrick Mahomes type guy. He's not going to be a Josh Allen type guy throwing it 50, 60 yards on a dime. But the thing is, where he's going to excel is in Sean Payton's type of offense, throwing these slants, throwing these on line of scrimmage screens, throwing these kind of short intermediate routes where he's very decisive on where he wants the ball to go, and he's very accurate to get it there. Second thing, I love the Troy Franklin pickup. A lot of people were even higher on Troy Franklin than probably I was, because of how just well skilled he looked in his combines and pro days. I mean, I was having people say that he was going to be, one of the first 6-7 receivers off the board, just because of how well he performed during those times. So with just those two alone, I'm okay. I'm happy. More like consent. And then, like you said, running back from Notre Dame, I think this is an outstanding get.
Tough runner.
Very tough, very productive runner. And honestly, with that running back room right now, he's gonna get carry. He's gonna see field time.
Oh,
right
yeah.
off the rip.
Yeah, like pretty much immediately that guy's gonna see. Who is the running back in Denver? I don't even know anymore. That team is just falling apart. I don't even know what that roster looks like. I mean, you guys got rid of Judy. You guys still have Cortland, right? I think you still have Cortland.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so you got Cortland and Troy now. That's like that's a pretty little combo. I like that one. But I don't even know who your running back room is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue who your running back is.
I think I know who it is, but I'm gonna look it up just so I don't.
So I mean, I think you're
idiot.
right, man. Audric can pop right in there, dude, and just be an immediate stud. On the counterpoint, though, your Seahawks one, I'm not a big fan of the Seahawks draft personally. They're Javonte Williams. Thanks, Todd. Yeah. Oh yeah. Estienne, yeah, he's gonna get in there. He's getting some play time. I'm sorry. He's gonna get in there and get some play time over Javonte Williams. I think Javonte and him's gonna be a good little combo though for Denver. I will say for your Seahawks draft though, man, for me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. You know, Ricky can chime in too, and you can give your thoughts. I mean, I love Byron Murphy pick. Love that one. That's awesome. Christian Haynes, I'm actually a fan of that pick. After that, it's nothing. It's no picks that I dislike. It's just a lot of yeah. That's a pick, I guess. At least that's my personal stance on it. I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah, I was. I would agree. I mean, the Seahawks picks were like, okay, yeah, they need that position.
Yeah.
Could he fit and play in that position and excel? Yes, but a lot of it was like, you know, we did what we needed to do, but nothing kind of explosive and, you know, shiny, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I do like your guard pickup from Utah, though. I do like him. You know, it's
I was about to mention that too.
Yeah, I do like that. That's one that I do like in the 6th round. I mean, 19 games at right guard, 25 games at right tackle. So he's got experience. He can be moved around. He's better as a guard, but he can be moved around, and that's kind of the main thing. And then we have this guy down here at the bottom, Michael Gerald, from a college that I have never heard of in my life. So shout out to that.
Finley?
Yeah, I've never heard of Finley. Are they like division? Are they at Division 2?
I think they're D2.
No,
Okay.
yeah, they're either deep in D2 or like D3. But when they made that pick, the YouTube channel that I was watching broadcast the draft, they actually looked it up. It's in Findlay, Ohio. Is the college?
Here it is, right?
Okay, so
Here it is, right here.
He's an Ohio
private
fuck, so
college,
never mind. It's a future Hall of Famer.
From Findlay, Ohio.
But I mean, he started 40 games. Apparently, I'm reading his pre-draft analysis. He started 40 consecutive games to end his college career. Outstanding explosiveness and range. So I mean, hey, it's not bad, I guess. Yeah, he can be moved from tackle to guard too. So I mean, he's healthy and he's strong and explosive. So that's that's what you need in an offensive lineman. So who knows, man? It could be a future Hall of Famer for you.
We'll see.
Yep. Shane, is there any draft classes that you want to shout out that you particularly loved? Like we shout out Washington, the Jets, and Carolina are some that we shout out. Is there any teams that you want to shout out?
Lions.
Oh,
definitely
yeah, absolutely.
Lions definitely won.
I meant to shout them out.
I think the Chargers did enough to kind of raise eyebrows, but we'll see how that goes.
I think the Chargers nailed it personally because, like, Joe Alt is, like, in all seriousness, like, not wanting to throw around the gold jacket like it's a piece of candy. He is like a gold jacket kind of candidate. You know what I mean? He is a gold jacket kind of draft prospect. He really is. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, throwing the term around like it's like some loose term that anyone can get, because that's obviously a very pretty exclusive club. You know, when you look at how many players coming in and out of the league, but like he is legitimately the possibility to be a gold jacket guy with Joe Alt. So like I know Chargers fans were pretty pissed about it. I think that's a staple pick, man. You're establishing your edge with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, and then you picked up Ladd McConkey at the beginning of the 2nd. Like, come on now. And then you got Brendan Rice down in the 7th, and Cornelius Johnson, one of Jim's guys. Like, I mean, come on now. I mean, this is a good little class, bruh. Like, you got another one of his guys in Junior Colson. I mean, like, I don't know. Chargers fans are pissed that they just didn't get like Malik Neighbors at number 5, but like, bruh, give it like 2 years and you'll be happy with this draft class. That's my opinion.
Like I said, I really like it, but what will make it better, and 2, 3, 4 years from now, we can look back on this and be like, hey, the Chargers nailed this draft class in Jim Harbaugh's first year, especially of Brendan Rice. Like, because you got to think, like, he was putting up some decent numbers before he got overshadowed by those other great USC receivers that's come out over the last couple of years.
Yep.
He was doing pretty well, and I'm pretty sure he got injured, and that's kind of set him back in this past year. Like, he has huge potential for you getting him in the 7th round. Huge. And there's so many other players that they got late that if they even get to a starting position and play meaningful snaps, like, this class is going to be very, very good for where Chargers need to be in the next 4 to 5 years.
No, I agree. Now, what about classes that we hate? Anything that stands out to you that you hate? Are we all just going to immediately turn to the Falcons draft?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gosh.
The sad part is, guys, there's a couple picks in here I actually really like. You know what I mean? Like, I like the Braylon Trice pick a lot. I like that one. I like the JD pick in the 5th round. You know what I mean? I like the Jace pick in the 6th round. But it just, for me, man, it comes back to that first round pick. What the fuck are we doing? Like, even like there was those videos coming out of Arthur Blank coming up to the GM looking like he was fighting for his life, fighting for his job, trying to explain the pick. I don't understand it, man. Like, I would understand it if Michael was coming into the draft as like a 20 or 21-year-old. Okay, I'm on board with it. I can understand it. The blueprint's there. The blueprint makes sense. Because Kirk Cousins, while he's good, and we all like Kirk, like, I mean, I understand it from an age point, because isn't Kirk going to be like 37? Let me confirm this. Like,
I think he'll be 37 this year or 38. Let
me confirm. All right, no, he's going to be 36 this year. So I get it. I get it from an age point. But at the same time, it's like, so if Michael was 21, sure, I can understand it. Him set behind Kirk for 3 years, him be 24. Kirk would at that point be almost 40 years old. Want to move on then. The blueprint's there. The blueprint's proven that sort of stuff can work. I totally understand it. But what blows me away is the amount of guaranteed money they have for Kirk. So Michael's not going to play anytime soon. And then it's the fact that Michael's 24 years old right now. Like, by the time he's going to be playing, he's going to be 28. I mean, if you can get, 10 good years off of him, where he's 38 years old, then I guess, yeah, sure, it works out. Those are 10 good years. Look at the Chicago Bears. 100-plus years in the NFL, and we've never had a 4,000-yard passer. So if you can have 10 good years out of a quarterback, then you can consider that a success in this very hard and this very difficult league to be in. But it's still just like, when you sign a guy like Kirk, who's a good player, right, good quarterback, and the amount of money, like, I don't understand. Like, the Falcons, to me, are not trying to win a Super Bowl. They're trying to just get better for the future versus win a Super Bowl. That's my mindset on it. Am I stupid for feeling this way? Like, where are we at on this?
You're not. You're not stupid for feeling that way, because I feel the same way. But my only difference is, with this day and age, with the rules and the protection that the quarterback has from these hard, blindsided hits and just these outlandish hits that quarterbacks that we grew up with took, right? The ones that Brett Favre took, the ones that Peyton Manning took early and middle of his career, the ones that hurt his neck. Like, all of these quarterbacks do not have the same protection that quarterbacks do now. So, I mean, I think even Tom Brady, given it's Tom Brady and he played with a great offensive line early on, like, he didn't really take a lot of those explosive hits. But, I mean, even in Tampa Bay, again, didn't take a lot of hits. Luckily enough to have a good offensive line. Great. But I think he kind of set this thing to where quarterbacks are going to be playing into their 40s. You're going to see quarterbacks, especially high echelon quarterbacks, like your Josh Allens, your Lamar Jacksons, your Patrick Mahomes, your Herberts, and things like that. They're going to play until they're 42, 43 years old, just because how the rules are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even though you're losing probably 3 years due to his age being 24, you're still going to gain. He may not be the same quarterback that he's going to be in his prime at 28, 29 years old. but you're going to have remnants of what he was in that type of offense when he's 39, 40, 41, 42 years old, as long as he stays relatively healthy.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing for me. And that's why it kind of hurts me that they didn't. I think they got maybe one or two offensive linemen, but I wish they would have attacked that offensive line a little more.
What about you, Rick?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me either. For me, if you're going to like, I have no problem with them taking a quarterback in the class. I mean, you see a lot of teams. The New York Jets took a quarterback. The Saints, well, the Saints needed a quarterback, but you see teams all the time take quarterbacks. This was the situation. The Atlanta Falcons did not need to take a Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. They could have waited. Here, I'm going to go ahead and read off some quarterbacks to you that were remaining. Now, this is some of the quarterbacks that were not drafted that could have been drafted. You got a Sam Hart, which I don't know why Sam Hartman was drafted or was
No, he
on
was
the board.
undrafted.
He was undrafted, but I don't understand why he was not drafted. But that's the type of quarterback that you could have drafted in the 5th round. You even Spencer Rattler, which I'm not a big Spencer Rattler fan, but that's a quarterback that you could have drafted late. To me, this caused desperation. Atlanta's not desperate. You're paying $100 million to Kirk Cousins to come in and be that veteran that your young team needs to win now. And then if you do end up getting yourself in a situation where Kirk Cousins does stay long term, you could possibly get yourself in a situation where, are we going to stick with Kirk Cousins, or are we going to stick with excuse me, or are we going to stick with Michael Penix Jr.? It's like, to me, this is a desperate move, and they're not even desperate.
And the thing is, also, I was kind of thinking about this. The thing is, like, what if he comes in and plays well in the preseason? Hold on, you can take it, Alex. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I get it from the age standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, like what Shane's saying, like we're proving that quarterbacks can go further and further. I get it, but it's just like, I don't know. That was just by no means a need at all. Like, there are plenty of guys that you could have snagged in later rounds, like kind of like what Ricky touched on and stuff. That pick, it's I don't know. Shocker of there's always one, man. There's always one shocker of the draft, and that was definitely this one for sure.
That was the biggest one.
Yeah. Let's see. What was another class just not a big fan of?
Bills.
Yeah. Bills fans very pissed off by the double trade back, that's for sure.
Would be too. And their 7th round pick, Travis Clayton out of England. He wasn't even on the draft board. Like, he wasn't even ranked.
Oh yeah. That was a case of just getting the guy that you like. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I want to say,
watch him be a Hall of Famer.
I know. I want to say Pat or someone I even asked Brandon Bean about that on today's show. I kind of tuned in briefly when Brandon Bean was on, and I think it was something like that. It's like, I think it was Travis, where he talked about Travis in the 7th round. He's like, I feel like that was one of those picks where it's just like, hey, it's 7th round. I feel like it's, his upside is worth the risk. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, you're right. He's a former soccer and rugby player, though. So shout out to that. Let's see some other classes. I don't hate this class, but another class I want to shout out that I really liked is I like Cincy's class quite a bit. Cincy had a really good class too. Cincy's class is solid.
Yeah, I think, of course, the Marius Mims, we knew he was going to be a 1st round pick. And once again, they did not draft a running back, but they had quite a bit of other good picks, though. That's for sure.
What about just single players? Any players that you want to shout out across the board that you love where they win? I know for me, Jordan Travis was one of my top ones, and so was Malachi Corley. But man, 1st round, Xavier Worthy, Kansas City. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be Tyreek Hill 2.0. Get ready, guys. Like, we're about to have the Kansas City offense with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill all over again. I'm telling you right now. Xavier Worthy going to KC is ungodly scary, ungodly deadly. Like that's an unbelievable draft pick there. Let's see.
Yeah, I would agree. My top 3 would probably be those same 3, I think. If not, it would probably be Xavier Worthy, Jordan Travis, and then the I'm completely blanking. The Lad McConkey pick by Chargers.
Lad's a good pick. I like the Lad pick quite a bit. Dallas Turner
That's
slipping down to
fair.
Minnesota at 17 is unfreaking believable. Cannot believe that one. As a Bears fan, not a fan of that. Let's see. You guys got anything else in terms of that? I'm looking through them myself right now, trying to see if anything else that I will say one thing that I also kind of like, and I know I saw some people just like, oh, why would you do this? I don't see a downside with it, especially when you took the approach they did, where it's like such a late round. I don't mind New England getting Joe Milton the third down in the 6th round. I know you drafted Drake May, and I get it and all, but I don't mind that one at all. I think that pick is completely fine.
Yeah, New England was a team that I was going to be surprised on with those picks, because they drafted Drake May in the 1st, of course, and they picked Joe Milton with that 193 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but again, it's going to just turn into this controversy, right? Where if Drake May's not playing well, you're going to hear people say, I want Joe Milton, and vice versa. And they can either encourage those guys to compete, or it's going to tear one or both of them down just because of the pressure that goes with being the quarterback of the New England Patriots.
Yeah. We'll also say for like the 17th million year in a row, it feels like the Eagles actually had an unbelievable draft again. Sorry, Ricky.
My Cowboys are going to suck after this year. It'd be fine.
That's true. But no, I mean, they had a great draft, man. Kenyon Mitchell. Which did you guys see the video of Micah Parsons being pissed about that pick?
No, I didn't. But I did see the pick of.
Yes. I did see that.
Yeah, apparently Kenyon Mitchell was one of Micah's favorite players in this draft, so he was so pissed. I just saw the photo of him face palming that the Eagles got him. Cooper DeJean, though, man, dude, I really was buying into the hype. I thought he was going to go high first. He was a first-round talent up front. I'm saying it right now. He was a first-round talent. But, man, Cooper DeJean can play safety or corner. Man, I love that pick, dude. I love Jeremiah Trotter as well down in the 5th round for the Eagles. I think they had a really good class, man. I think the Niners had kind of a weak class, in my opinion, too. That's another one. Shout out. I'm not a big fan of their class, personally.
But again, if I'm a 49ers fan, though, I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. I could give 2 shits less.
But also another pick that I liked, and even CJ Stroud was kind of upset that it happened, was Purcell.
Yeah.
Florida receiver, because apparently CJ was really wanting him.
Also, love the Graham Barton pick for Tampa. That's another one I want to shout out. Love that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's a solid ass pick. I can't think of anything else. I'm going through all the teams. I can't think of anything else that really stood out. Titans had a really weak draft. That's another one.
Yeah, that was a terrible.
I've seen that coming though.
Yeah, Titans is a shit show, man.
I do have some head scratchers on why some players weren't drafted.
Oh yeah.
Watson out of Memphis, running back out of Memphis. That's a head scratcher for me. I do not see how no one was going to be willing to give that kid a chance. And then Tyler will appreciate this one. Frank Crum, the offensive tackle out of Wyoming.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you not draft this guy? 6'8"? Are you kidding me? 313 pounds. I don't care. I mean, he's got a pretty good all right. So this right here is what he says. And he had the second quickest 10-yard split and the second quickest 40-yard dash out of all the offensive linemen in the draft. Why would you not want someone that looks that good? And then I think the only other one that's a head scratcher for me, or besides Gabe Hall out of I forgot about Gabe Hall. Gabe Hall out of Baylor. That was one that was a head scratcher. Harrison Mevis, which I think Harrison Mevis will get a pickup somewhere. For those of y'all who do not know who Harrison Mevis is, he's the place kicker for Missouri. Have y'all seen him kick?
No,
That dude's got a freaking leg. That dude's probably got the best leg of all the kickers that were drafted. Of course, there was only 4 or 5 kickers that were part of the draft class this year. That man's got a kick on him.
Was
That back could kick a freaking football.
Is that that
accurate
guy?
kick.
Is that the guy that was named the thicker kicker or whatever his name was?
Yes,
His nickname was.
the thicker. Yep, that's his nickname out of Missouri, the thicker kicker. That dude could kick 60, 65 yards, no problem. Like it's like what's the word that I'm trying? It's like routine for him. I don't understand why nobody would want him.
I was happy to see Cam Little go to Duval.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we touched on that one. Man, Jacksonville likes to get Arkansas guys, I guess.
Hey, I'm all about it.
Oh, here's an
That means
interesting.
you're going to become a race.
No,
That means you're going to be a Razorback fan.
No, that will never happen. That will never happen. Arkansas can get back up to being the top, number 3 in the nation, and I still will not give a shit.
And I will pant around streaking naked while a Razorback tattoo's on my ass if that happens.
Good luck. Good luck getting arrested, my guy. I'm not going to bail you out for that. Also, shout out to this. Apparently, there was a report that Kansas City was trying to call Seattle during the draft about a trade with DK Metcalf. If DK would have got traded to Kansas City, man, I would have loved to see the interaction. I would have loved to see the internet reaction to that.
That would have been insane.
Oh, that would have been hysterical, man.
I would have been extremely upset.
What I was going to say, Shane, is, if you do end up going to jail because of that or whatever the case may be, we may not bail you out, but we'll at least shout it out on the podcast the very next week.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, just make sure that you see that could get us viral, boys. Just show the clip, blur out my ass,
right?
Keep it going.
Man, that'd have been something. Let's see. Trying to find if there's any news to shout out or something. You guys got anything that you guys want to shout out?
Not in particular.
Okay.
No, off the top of my head. Honestly, unfortunately, the last couple of days I've not been able to think about football. I've been kind of busy, so I was able to watch the draft Friday and Saturday. But come Sunday and late Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday or today, it's completely left my brain.
Did you guys see about the roasting of Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Did you see that, Ricky?
I did not.
Let me get the exact tweet up again. I just had it and it refreshed on me.
I think Gronk's gonna be there. I think Kevin Hart's gonna be there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a Netflix. It's gonna be a Netflix thing, and it's gonna be Randy Moss, Bill Belichick, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, and I think one other guy that's just gonna sit there and just roast Tom Brady the entire time. Just absolutely, just burn him, man.
Hope it's somebody like Peyton Manning or Drew Brees or somebody.
Right? Yeah.
Somebody who's not really funny, but that would be hilarious.
Yep. So one thing to note, I'm gonna be shouting this out here because this is something that I really want to try to do for future cases. Whenever, just whenever you want to, it's not really a big deal. So just for the listeners, one thing that that me and the boys talked about doing is whenever someone needs to miss the show or misses the show, whatever, and if there's something someone wants to react to, they can send me a video for me to play on stream for whatever they want to react to for that week. Tyler is trying to send a video right now. I've been trying to delay the show the last 10 minutes waiting for this video to come through. I don't know how long this thing is because they're not supposed to be super long for anyone. I will say, for that though, I think it'd be a great way to keep everyone involved. You know what I mean? Because people got to miss shows. I don't fucking care. I mean, if you guys got to miss a show, it's not a big deal. So if you guys ever want to react to something, send me a video. And honestly, one thing I was talking to Tyler about when we were talking about it, because he told me how work went to shit and he probably wasn't going to be able to show up, is that, just end it with like a question or something for us to talk about. If this video comes through, I will play it. I will have to get it up. You'll get to see my editing live on stream. To get it all set up. I already kind of had a scene somewhat ready to go, but I got to get the damn video in. Now, the one interesting thing, though, is that I don't know if you guys will be able to hear the video. That's the one thing that I do not know. I don't know if you guys over Discord will be able to hear the video with me. That's the one thing I'm not sure of. I know the stream will hear it. I'll hear it. And if you guys can't hear it, I'll relay what it says. Tyler, if you don't get me this damn video, I'm gonna slap you across the face next time I see you. I got shit to do.
Well, while we're kind of waiting on that, shout out to Travis Kelce on his max extension, or $17 million per year deal, fully guaranteed. And then I guess we could shout out to the dumbass televangelist who said that when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have a baby, it's going to be the Antichrist.
Oh my God!
All right, buddy.
Relax,
All right,
relax. Jesus
let's go on brighter news here. Let's also
Jesus
shout out to Jason Kelsey. He's going to be a part of the Monday Night Football crew.
Yes.
And also him and Travis is going to be getting here in the next, I think, month, if it hasn't happened already. I haven't really seen any updates on it. Supposedly $100 million deal for their New Heights podcast.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Ow. Wish someone would give us $100 million.
One day.
Maybe it happened if Tyler would send in his video.
I know, man. No, I mean, I know, like he was gonna try to just pop into the show on Discord on his phone, but like he's still at work right now, and he's just going in and out of stores and says shit service, so it's part of the reason why he's having trouble sending in the video. Yeah, I wish it would hurry him come through so he can move about, because I do have stuff to do. I do have stuff to do in the house. I got something going on.
If anything, maybe you can create a short, or we can start off the show. What, in June?
Yeah, it's gonna be in June. Yeah, shout out, man. This is our last episode for a bit. I will say, I did want to try to get all of us together. All right, sometime this upcoming month for a video. Won't be live, completely pre-recorded. Go through it. So here's what I've got. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear you. It says it's too large. How long did you record? It's only supposed to be like a minute. Like, what are you doing?
Tyler.
Actually, you know what? It may also not work because depending on how long it is, Discord Nitro is a way to go. Discord Nitro can definitely help send some stuff for sure. Increase that file size. So I honestly, I didn't even think about that. Like, even if it is a minute and it's not sending, we may have to reevaluate a way to get these videos to me. So we'll figure something out. How long is it? How long is it, Tyler? Is it longer than a minute? Is it longer than 2 minutes? Like, what the hell did you record? But anyway, so here's a video idea that I want all 5 of us to be a part of. I think it's gonna be awesome. All right, you guys ready for this? I want to do a pre-recorded video of where we do like a full-blown fantasy draft. But when I say full-blown fantasy draft, I'm talking like I want to draft everything. So we're going to start off, first and foremost, where you at, baby? You get to draft your city. All right, you draft your city out of the 32 NFL teams. Then you can draft your team name. You can draft your team name and logo as a draft pick. You can draft your colors. So just because I'm drafting, let's say the Bears, doesn't mean I got to be orange and navy. I can get the Jags colors if I want to. You draft your colors. You draft your uniform design out of all 32 teams. You draft your GM, your head coach, and then you start drafting your players, which all be in like separate tiers. So like offense, you have so much to, like, let's say so much money to spend, so you can't just go over here and get like, Patrick Mahomes and, Justin Jefferson and, all the best of the best, whatever. You got to be smart about how you draft it. But what do you guys think about that? Build the ultimate team.
I think it's pretty sick. I'm down for it. Be a long-ass video, though, especially with us.
I'll have to chop it up. You will have to keep in mind as we're going, it's a video. All right. So as we're going through it won't be live. So I can tell you guys, hey, what the fuck you doing? Speed this shit up. What the fuck?
Got you.
I can start yelling at you guys. No, I mean it'll be fun though. So I don't think we're gonna get the video from Tyler, which is very unfortunate. We'll have to figure something out on that in the future to kind of figure it out. I thought I was gonna get it before the show ever started, but again, he's had a rough time at work today. He gave me the lowdown earlier. He has had a time at work today. So I think we're gonna wrap up the show though, because I do have some stuff that I got to go take care of. Again, this will be the last episode until June. You may see some videos, a couple videos from us pop out between now and then. So we got our June episode, July episode, and then we are back to weekly episodes every single week in August. That being, let's see,
Be here before you know it.
It always is.
August 6th. August 6th is when we should be coming back. So shout out to that. All right, boys, do you have anything that you guys want to shout out before we get out of here?
Nope.
Sucks.
What, Ricky?
Coca-Cola sucks.
Wow. Yeah, you're just throwing out some shots, huh? All right,
Why
Ricky.
not?
Well, if you want to go
I
in
think
true Ricky fashion, now's your time.
I think Coca-Cola's the Antichrist. Y'all have a good one.
Wow.
Yo, come on, man.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. Well, anyway, looking forward to the June episode. Hopefully all 5 of us can be on here and have a great time there. Shane, any last thoughts you want to shout out?
Nope, I am completely full. Jersey Mike's is so fucking good. And have a good night.
Yeah, I had Panda Express last night. First time in years. So good. Had a fantastic night. Oh, damn it. I just remembered something. Didn't shout out our sponsor. Shout out to Rogue Energy. Use the referral link down below. Promo code SPARK to get 10% off your order. And shout out Agent Inc. Pick up a hat or some jerseys. Use the referral link down below on that one as well. And join the Discord. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.